How's everybody doing? Is this like the 5th hour, or did I just get here? I think I just got here. This is kind of impromptu tonight. This is kind of cool. I'm getting old, so I get confused. You know what that's like, don't you, sir? Yeah. But did you hear, today may be the last time that we do daylight savings time. Let's hear it. Woo! Wouldn't that be fucking cool? Because what a douche thing to do. The days start getting shorter, it starts getting darker sooner, and they go, I got an idea. Let's totally fuck everybody over and have it get dark an hour earlier. And like, I also lived in Seattle for a while, so up there, it's a thing. It's a serious thing. I mean, we got a lot of suicides down here too, but up there, you know, serious. Like when you go to a Costco down here, it's basically like, boogie boards, surfboards, swim trunks, fans, stuff like that. You go into a Costco up in like Federal Way, Washington, where I live, and like I walked in there and there's, looks like about 100 laptops all sitting there in the electronics section. They're all open, this bright light coming out. And I'm like, hey man, what are these things here? Those aren't laptops, are they? No, man, they're UV stations. What do they do? Well, I thought it was pretty obvious, sir, but they put out UV rays. Oh, well, what's that for? Well, that's so that you can sit in front of it for 10 minutes a day and it will stave off unwanted suicides. Really? You're not shitting me. That's really what it's for, man, because they've decided we're not getting enough sunshine. It makes more people kill themselves up here. I mean, it's dreary, it's cold, it's raining every day. That's when it's not snowing and winding and storming and trees going down and you lose your electricity. And I just can't paint the picture enough about how screwed it is living up there, okay? But I used to work at a Starbucks up in Federal Way, and it's raining all the time. So as I'm leaning out, I was worked the drive-through window, so I'd be leaning out giving some lady her cappuccino or something. And they always have a towel with them, so that when they roll their window down, they're waiting for their cappuccino, they're just constantly sitting there wiping the door down from the rain and everything. It's just like continually going on. So I kind of feel bad, and as I'm handing the drink out, I would say, well, you know, good to see you again, Alice. You know, maybe tomorrow when you come here, it won't be raining. And they would always say the same thing. Oh no, I love all the 4 seasons. What 4 seasons? What 4 seasons would those be? You have really 2 seasons up in Washington. You have 2 months of summer that are way too hot for what you're used to from the last 10 months. And then dreary, rainy, snowy, icy, windy, just, I want to kill myself, so I go out and I buy a portable UV station from Costco kind of weather. You know? I got to tell you, I'm going a little, we talked a little bit about going crazy as you get older. Little, you know, it doesn't take far with us, does it? It's like there's days, like I showed up here tonight. This is a true story. I showed up here, I thought it was the 3rd Sunday of the month where we have an open mic. And I went, oh shit, this is the 2nd Sunday, isn't it, man? And Corey went, oh, you poor old bastard. You know, I tell you what, I'll set. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I was also an hour late. So, anyway, but the thing is I take care of my 90-year-old dad. Okay, he's still pretty self-sufficient. He wears Depends. You know, I don't have to take care of him that way. I think when he gets there, I think it's time for him to move on or something. I don't know, but I love him. I take care of him. But it's really getting tough because I'm trying to think of something good to watch on TV. I'm like, hey, what about this? I don't want to watch that shit. Matthew McConaughey's in that. He's a fag. I don't think he's a fag, Dad. Well, I don't like him. Okay, well, how about this? Shia LaBeouf. I hate Shia LaBeouf. Don't put Shia LaBeouf movies on. Okay, you know what? I'm in agreement with you on that one. I think Shia LaBeouf is a douche. But, okay, and I'm looking through. Thank you. You too, huh? You agree? I like that. And I concur totally. And from what I've heard about real life, he's a douche to work with as well. But, so I'm trying to think of something to watch, and then he'll go, wait a minute. What's that movie? The one with the science fiction in the future, and he's a taxi driver, and I go, you talk about the Bruce Willis movie, Fifth Element? No. Okay, and anyway, we'll go back and forth for like 10 minutes. Never figure out what movie he's talking about, and you go, well, fuck it. Or if I figure it out, I go, oh, no, you were talking about Fifth Element. I've got that here. I've got the DVD. Let me put it in. Oh, no, I don't want to watch it. We've been talking about it for 10 or 15 minutes. I thought you wanted to watch it. No. I just wondered what that one was. Okay. So I'm getting ready to strangle him pretty soon. He's 90, though. It's not cool to strangle your 90-year-old dad. So I'm trying to let natural courses hit the, take care of things for themselves. But it's also my mother is bugging the shit out of me, and she's dead. God bless you, Mother. I love you. And I haven't talked about you enough in my stand-up act, so I'm going to try to do more of it now. This actually happened about a week ago. Do we have any people here with a cocaine problem? Really? Sweet. Oh, morphine. Morphine, cocaine, we're good. The deal is I had a cocaine problem, and I actually moved up to Washington State for geographic rehab. Okay? I finally went, man, I cannot stop. But you know what? If I move up to Washington, I don't know anybody up there. So I won't know where to buy this shit. I'll be out for at least 3 months before I find somebody, and maybe I'll be able to do it. And I did it. I kicked it. It was good. But I had a dream about 3 nights ago. This is true, although I don't expect you to believe me, but it is true. I had a dream, and I was with some dudes, and they were like, hey man, we're going camping. You want to go camping with us? And I'm like, wow, man, I'm really tired. But you guys got some cocaine with you? And they went, yeah. And the guy pulls out like an 8-ball and goes, boom, and just like gave it to me in my dream. And so I went like, wow. And I was still a little fucked up in the head about it. I went, hey man, yeah, okay, well let me get my shit ready. And I'm still thinking, do I really want to do this? Because I'm old enough now where if I did a line of coke, I could just instantly, you know what I'm talking about, sir. Just boom, you pay the price right then. Do not pass go, just die. So, I mean, it might be good. It might catch me mid-stroke. Woo, I found my thing again. I don't know. But it could also get ugly real quick. So, I'm sitting there and I'm contemplating using the cocaine in my dream. And I'm going, well, maybe I could just do a line or two, just revisit what it used to be, and then just stop. And then all of a sudden, I hear my mom's voice. You stupid son of a bitch, somebody ought to kick you right in the balls. Mom, it's just a fucking dream, okay? And I'd like to think that she forgave me. I hope she forgave me. Do you forgive me, Mom? Yeah, bro. You're watching me, aren't you? Okay. I used to be a truck driver. Anybody ever hear anybody truck driver before? We got any drivers out there? Yo, driver. You were a driver? You're a truck driver right now? Class A driver's license. Right on. You over there too? Okay, are you guys like local drivers or are you over the road? Work for the city, okay. Well, I was an over-the-road truck driver for Swift. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay, Swift has like a puppy farm truck driver school over in Phoenix. Okay, and I went over there for training. Do you know what Swift stands for, sir? Sure wish I finished training. All other truck drivers hate Swift drivers because it's not the Swift drivers are bad, but there's so many brand new drivers out from Swift that they suck. They don't know how to back up. And, you know, it's fucked up. It's like, well, I'll tell you this. I've learned that it takes an articulate person to drive an articulated vehicle. Am I right, sir? For instance, guys, when you're backing up a big rig, if you want your ass to go to the right, you got to turn the wheel to the left. Thank you, driver. Thank you, driver. We got any other drivers in here? No? Just these two? Okay, okay. Really? Okay, okay. And if you want your ass to go to the left, you got to turn it to the right. Okay, so it's pretty trippy stuff. And you're also basically driving with a lot of, how can I put this gently, morons. When you're driving over the road, truckers, it's a sad thing. It's just a sad thing. If you ever want to see a sight, go to a truck stop with all those trucks out there and just watch when it's dinner time. It's like watching a bunch of hermit crabs head for the beach. They get out of their shells because these people do not walk. They're not used to what they drive. They're men. They're big men, very big men. And when they get out of their cabs, it's something like this. And a lot of times the back fat that they have on them, you know what I'm talking about, sir. The back fat actually is molded into what their seat in their vehicle looks like. Okay? So sometimes you can actually read the word Peterbilt on their back, and you can see the crease and where their ashtray sits in their belly. It's pretty bad. One time I saw this one guy, and they're all like really macho dudes. So they're like, nothing phases them. This one guy, he's walking past me into the truck stop, and I'm like, hey man, and he was one of those that's like, fuck, I'm too cool to say hi. So he's just like, and at the time he goes, it was real windy out. It was windy as fuck in Phoenix. And at the last minute he's like, oh hell, I got something up my nose. And he lets out a big snort, and his snot shot out of his nose. The wind hit it, smacked him right in the face with it. And then he was sitting there doing this for about 5 minutes, wiping it off and everything, and it never fazed him. But I was so freaked out when I was driving a truck. I was so afraid that I was going to kill somebody in my truck. You know what I'm talking about. You know, some stupid day where you're in a little bit of a hurry, somebody does something stupid. Yeah. Yep, they got to get in front of you, and they never, you can put your turn signal on for 3 years, and they'll be like, yep, probably the guy right behind me is going to let you in, but even though you're running out of lane, we're just going, they'll never let you over. It's crazy. So I'm sitting there, I prided myself, well, what I told myself every time I went out, every morning I woke up, I went, okay, Jim, you are such a fuck up that if you do ever have a bad accident, you're going to take out a bus and it's full of nuns. So you're going to end up, and I saw it visually in my mind, this bus wiped out in front of me, my truck smashed into it, and all these dead penguins all over the place with sheets over them. And so that was my horror thing. I told myself to be careful. And I also prided myself on not killing any animals. You know, as a matter of fact, I saved a horse's life. There was this one really weird day, okay? It got weirder later, but the way it started was I'm driving in El Paso, and I look over on the other side of the freeway, and there's a horse trailer, and there's these people freaking out, and this horse is getting away from them, and it starts across all 8 lanes. Now, again, I've told you, 4-wheelers, because that's what we call you guys, 4-wheelers. Okay, 4-wheelers will never pay any attention to anything a truck driver does. If he signals anything, they're like, whatever, we don't care. We're 4-wheelers. So I went, shit, this horse is running across all 4 lanes. I'm going to watch this horse die in front of me. So I put on my 4-ways and I started weaving a little bit like this. And amazingly enough, all the cars behind me slowed down and waited, and this horse made it across. And I went, wow, I saved a horse's life today. Not only have I not killed any animals, but I saved a horse's life. That is so cool. So then, right after that, it's getting sundown, and this squirrel runs out in front of my rig. Oh, well, it was just a squirrel. And then all of a sudden a rabbit ran out. I ran over this rabbit. And it's like, damn, that's crazy. These animals are getting suicidal. Then all of a sudden a coyote ran out in front of me. I smashed him into the smithereens. A bird, a hawk, flew into the side of my cab, smashed all over the windshield. I'm like, damn. And then I look ahead. I swear to God, sir, I look ahead to me, and here is this weird-looking prairie dog. And he's walking out in the middle of the road. And he's got his arms up over his head, but I can't see what he's doing. So I turn the brights on, and then I see he's got a gas can. And he's shaking this gasoline all over himself. And he's got this weird look on his face. And he's looking right at me, right in the eyes. And then he takes out this wooden stick match, and he's just looking at me like, uh-huh. And he flicks it. And he goes up. I'm driving by, and there's that fucking bonfire back there. I'm going, damn. He was serious. And then the next thing I saw was a raccoon with a noose, and he's walking out right behind. And then all of a sudden, that's when I realized you cannot seriously do LSD and drive a truck at the same time. So I just quit that right then. As you might have guessed, I'm kind of mentally fucked up, as we've talked about before. I've tried reading self-help books, but they just don't help, really. I'm still driven to find something that I can read that will explain shit to me. And I saw a book recently. It was called The Art of Not Knowing. Now, I don't know, but I just thought, why would I buy this book? I'm pretty sure that I already don't know. So what would be the point of buying this book that's going to tell me how to not know better? But then I thought about it, the art of not knowing, that kind of makes it sound like if you don't know enough, you could become the Da Vinci of not knowing. So I bought it. I'm still reading it. I'll get back to you on that one. But there is one that totally pissed me off. It had a totally opposite reaction. It was called Every Day of Friday by Joel Osteen. Does everybody know what Joel Osteen is? He's a preacher from Texas with a mega church. He's got oily, slick back, curly hair. He's got squinty eyes. He's like a one-man barrage of sincerity. And the whole book was like this. A lot of people wake up on Monday morning and say, oh, I have to go to work. No. You get to go to work. Some people came up to me this afternoon and said, Mr. Osteen, I was coming to your services this Sunday. My wife and I, and our car broke down. Now we have to have it repaired. No, you get to have it repaired. The whole book was like that. I find it got to the point where every time I see a Joel Osteen book now, I have to burn it. No, I get to burn it. By the way, any French girls in the audience tonight? Are you French, man? You look a little French. Miss back there at the table, are you? No? Okay. We'll talk later. We'll talk later. Does she have some French leanings? Is that what you're saying, sir? Okay. Well, I've always wanted to look down and see a beautiful girl underneath me, looking up at me and saying with some distress, "Je te besoin, je te besoin," which would translate to something like, "It's too big, please be gentle," And I'm probably gonna have to pay a professional for that someday. Yeah. Never mind. But the other thing I'm getting kind of Well, you know, you pay the right price, I can go, hey, look, I don't care how good it sounds, just give it a shot. And I'll do the rest, don't worry. I've got another thing I've been looking at, and it really kind of struck me as funny because I'm not one of these guys that's into feet or, you know, earlobes or anything like really weird like that. I don't want chicks to urinate on me. That's weird. Yeah. I haven't gone all Trump yet, okay? So, even though when he does it, it's totally okay, you know, because probably nobody does it as better as he does. You know, he's the best. When I molest a woman, I gotta say, she's totally molested, okay? You know what I'm saying? But I've been getting into small hands. And it took me a while to figure it out, but every once in a while I said, can I see your hands, miss? Miss? I'm looking at you. Can I see your hands? No, you, right there. Oh, yeah. Those are some tiny hands right there. Those are some tiny, tiny hands. Well, how do I put this gently? Okay, let me try to explain it this way. You know these burger commercials? How do they sell us burgers on TV? They have this little girl, tiny, tiny hands, tiny little fingers, and she's got this big hamburger, and she's chowing down on it. You're just like going, how does she even hold that big hamburger? Her hands, her fingers are so tiny. Well, I guess I know where I guess you know where I'm going with this. I'm just thinking that in the right situation, I could look freaking huge. You know what I'm saying? So congratulations, whoever is the lucky guy with this lady here, because I think that you're getting some fringe benefits that you haven't even thought of yet. Okay? I won't go into it. I'll leave her alone now. Let's see. But I will tell you something now. I think we know each other well enough. Do they know me well enough now, Corey, for me to tell them about? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be. The arcade. Oh, we're going there. Yeah. No, first I was going to tell them that, but this can't leave the room. Can't leave the room. Okay. Want everybody to understand? Can't leave the room. Yeah, but that's just for private purposes. Okay, I'll get home and wank it to this for hours. Okay, so the deal is, let me be honest, I wish I was bigger down under. You know, yeah, down there. No, not that. What are you thinking? What could you possibly be thinking? No, it's not that. But I know what you were thinking. No, I'm talking about Australia. I want to be famous on Australia someday. I don't care about here. I want to be big in Australia. Do you know what the ratio of men to women in Australia is? Like, I don't know, 100 to 1? I've heard some things, I don't know. And they are making gay marriage legal down there, so if I totally strike out, I could play for the other team and finally meet Mr. Right. I'm thinking. Okay, going along with my sexual inadequacies and my dreams, I've been watching a lot of Japanese porn lately. Yeah. Are you a big fan too? Not at all. Okay, I know what you mean about regular Japanese porn, and we all know why it is. First of all, they blur out the hot spots. They blur out anything good.
It's true. Can't see it.
That's right. And if they did blur it out, what would we be looking at? You know, I mean, come on. So the deal is it's not the regular Japanese porn that I'm talking about, it's the anime. The anime. My brother turned me onto it and said, hey man, have you ever seen the anime? Japanese porn anime? No. He goes, well, check out the tentacle sex. I go, tentacle sex? Tentacle sex. Is that what you said? Yeah, check it out. So I did. And I gotta tell you, it's this one genre of Japanese porn anime that is just mind-blowing. No pun intended. The deal is this genre of movie, it's all the same thing, but there's about 1,000 of these out there. Here's the deal. I'll explain the plot to you, okay? There's this Japanese mad scientist, and he creates a giant horny octopus. And it's got penises instead of tentacles. So it's got like 8 penises, okay? And then there's this little, every woman's dream, right? So, I mean, besides it smell like fish, but the deal is, okay, so there's this little Japanese anime schoolgirl that, see, it's all very scientific, but I hope I'm explaining it okay. But anyway, he creates this giant, horny octopus with 8 penises, and he finally sicks it on this innocent, unsuspecting Japanese anime schoolgirl, right? And sometimes he joins in. It's crazy. He'll get up in there, and he'll find an orifice that isn't being used, which is hard to do, and he gets up there and he's like, "You have dishonored your family!" Now, of course, if Joel Osteen was there, he could have told him, no, she got to dishonor her family. You see what I'm saying? I guess I've admitted to you that I'm a little screwed up mentally. Are you buying this yet? Because it's just an act. But I'll explain how I got screwed up. This was the early stage. When I was a little kid, my dad used to think that I needed to learn a lesson, so he would tell me some horrible story. But then he would puss out about halfway through, and he would just back up and tell me something that didn't make any sense at all. And I would just be very, very confused when it was all over. So, I'm from Oceanside. I've lived here, the whole 9 yards, okay? Oceanside. And I know the Marines song, too. Do we have any Marines in here tonight? Any Marines? Really? I know the song. We're Marines, love this country, yeah. We're Marines. Pretty much it? Okay, good. Thank you very much. So the deal is, I used to cut class at Oceanside High, and I'd run down to the arcade. They had pinballs back in the day. No games, just pinballs. So I would cut class and I would go down and I'd play pinball. So my dad told me several thousand times, do not cut class, and do not ever go back to that arcade. So the next week when he caught me at the arcade, he threw me in the car, sped home, threw my mom out of the room, closed all the doors, and it went something like this. You little son of a bitch. I'm blue in the face telling you to stay away from those places. Now I'm going to tell you why. They got perverts at those places that are just waiting for a juicy little morsel like you to sashay in. Oh yeah. You are a little pink, roly-poly plaything. Yep. See you guys. And these guys, they'll wait until nobody's looking. They'll drug you, tie you up, throw you in the back of their van, and drive you out in the boonies. Now the first thing they're going to do is they're going to gag you. But you're too young for me to tell you what they're going to gag you with. Then, okay. You know a woman when she's going to have a baby. Well, her little happy place dilates to about 8 or 9 centimeters. Am I right? Okay. Well, when these guys get done with you, you're going to be a size 12. Okay? You'll never hear yourself fart again. The weirdest thing about it, see, that's what I'm saying. At that point I was wondering, so these perverts, they're going to get me pregnant with a butt baby, and then I'm going to have to raise it. I'm not sure I really want the responsibility for that. So, but Dad would always finish up with, I'm glad we had this little talk. The weirdest thing about it was the massive erection he was carrying around the whole story. It was a little off-putting. What can I tell you? How you doing, Corey? How's my time? Okay, let me tell one more short one. Did everybody hear Dr. Seuss is a racist? I don't, yeah. They're starting to say now that Dr. Seuss is racist because one of his cartoons depicted, during World War II, he drew a cartoon depicting a Japanese guy with chopsticks, real thick glasses, and buck teeth.
That's fine.
You know, so now he's a racist, and then I was really pissed, but then I went back and I looked at some of his books, and I'm forgetting just how racist he really was. I mean, he was racist, he was sexist, he was homophobic, he was just, it's crazy. You remember some of his books, don't you?
Yeah.
Know Me and the Homie, Green Eggs and Taco Benders, Horton Here's a Jew. You heard that one, didn't you? No? Okay. Well, anyway, take my word for it. He's racist. Okay? No. Dr. Seuss, Mom, it's okay. I know. Dr. Seuss is not racist. And now, folks, I'm going to turn it back over to your friend of mine, Mr. Corey.
Thank you, Jim. And now that you guys have been loosened up properly, that's a beautiful thing.